Hey everybody, today we're talking about Dracula, Book 2, The Brides. Hey everybody, welcome back to BK's Bullets. As always, I'm your host, Brent and today we're talking about this book right here. This is Dracula, Book 2, The Brides by Matt Wagner and Kelly Jones. This is the second of a 4-part series. This is a Kickstarter that finally shipped to me. They didn't have my address for some reason, and I'm like, it's on Kickstarter, you have my credit card info, but whatever. So I got a little bit later than anybody else, but hey. So this is book 1. Both of these are Kelly Jones covers here in the picture. I just got the standard hardcover. So this one, I'll talk price and build a little bit of this book, because I was thinking about doing like an over-the-head overview, but there's so much nudity in this book that I don't think it would get past the YouTube censor. So we're just going to talk about it and open it up to safe pages, right? But it's Kelly Jones, and if you've seen Kelly Jones, you know what to expect. His stuff is phenomenal. If you've read the first one, you know what to expect. But this is more of that same quality work. And this book is oversized. Like, here's a regular hardcover. In fact, I talked about this a little bit on the Psychic Sam video, which you can go see my thoughts on that one. But for a hardcover, this is bigger. This is the album sized of the DC Black Label stuff, right? Magazine sized paper. This one is 160 pages. It's almost twice as much as this Psychic Sam book, which was only 60 pages, right? So you get bonus there. The paper is really nice, and the build quality of this one is sewn binding. And I know if you watch Near Mint Condition and all those omnibus channels, they make a big deal about sewn binding, but I actually felt the difference here in this hardcover because of the way the pages laid flat. And you could see the strings in some of the pages in the front, and I was like, oh, okay, I see now. It allows them to lay a bit flatter, whereas Psychic Sam, just a regular hardcover, glued binding, and felt like I was cracking it a little bit when I was reading that one. But hey, maybe that should have gone to the Psychic Sam video, but I'm talking about the awesome quality of this one. So kudos to Matt Wagner, Kelly Jones, and the team for picking a great printer and really putting the quality into this book. Like, to me, no expense was spared in the build quality of this book compared to another Kickstarter I just got recently, right? And it shows. And they're so excited about this book, like listening to them do interviews for it on Word Balloon. They've already launched the, there's no nudity on that page, but a lot of the book looks a little bit like that. On the Word Balloon podcast, they've launched book 3. That Kickstarter is available. I think I already pledged that one before I read this one, and it's just something I'm just going to continue to get because I really like this investigation of Dracula and how, they're plumbing the depths of the book and telling untold tales from, based on the source material of the novel and not really like anything else. So the first book dealt with Dracula going to the Scholomance, which is Satan's school for evil wizardry and stuff like that. In this one, he's basically setting himself up in Transylvania and then getting his brides, his companions, 3 companions, because he gets lonely after a couple hundred years of the same damn thing, right? And then towards the end, they're setting up for the next volume, which is called The Count. And that's, some naked lady. But yeah. So it kind of gives each of his brides a personality and a reason why he wanted to turn them. The first one is like an experiment, and the second 2 have other reasons for that. And so they all have names and personalities where I've never read the actual book Dracula, but I have seen the Francis Ford Coppola movie with Gary Oldman. So I think that's probably the one closest to the source material. So, I know, shame on me. I'm not a big horror dude, but I do enjoy some classic stuff. But again, Jose Villarrubia on colors here, just killing it with the vibe and the mood and everything else. And the Kelly Jones art is pretty good, if not amazing, from time to time. Some of the stuff is gruesome, although I will say there's a lot less. Like, if you're looking for how does it compare to the first book, Brent, well, the first book had these really extraordinary, gruesome scenes and fantastic scenes because you're dealing with Satan and hell and wizardry and spells and monsters and demons, and this one's toned way back from that. Like, if you're expecting all the weird, crazy stuff you saw in the first volume, that's not really in here because that's not the story being told. You are getting some gore, but a lot of it is the bats and the the mountains and the castle and moodiness and some violence and things like that, but not a ton, right? A little bit, but not a ton. So, again, you do get some weird things, this ghoul in the woods here, but it's not a ton of that. So maybe we'll see that more in the next one. I'm not sure, but I'm guessing that next one is about him going to London and having adventures there, right? So, but you do get some crazy Kelly Jones artwork in here. Like, I'm not saying it's terrible. It's just, it's different because of the story that they're telling. So, yeah. So I think this is worth picking up. There's another Kickstarter, and I think every Kickstarter they're printing more of these, whether the hardcover or softcover versions or whatever, digital copies, you can get all that stuff. And then I know Dark Horse prints a softcover later on of each volume as they come out. So you could probably find volume 1. You'll be able to find volume 2 in a softcover. I presume it's the same size. I've never actually seen it in a comic book store. Not that I'm looking that hard because I already have them, but I think a hardcover is the way to go on these bigger album-sized books, right? It's a great thing. You get a little essay in the back about Dracula, and you get some sketches from the last Kickstarter and some pages that were changed, things like that. So, pretty nice set, honestly. So yeah, big fan of this Dracula book by Matt Wagner and Kelly Jones. If you haven't checked this out, there's 2 more coming out over the next 2 years, I presume. I think they're great, so check it out. We'll see you guys next time in the Funny Pages. Let me know what you thought of Dracula Volume 2, The Brides, down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time, like I said, in the Funny Pages.